The average human being will forget about 50% of all the information learned within the last 24 hours. So, I'm gonna throw some more at you. In 1981, for the wedding of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, the royal family decided they would use ferrets in order to lay the cables underneath Buckingham Palace. The longest word in the English dictionary, pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis, has a whopping total of 45 characters and is defined as a rare lung disease that can be obtained from inhaling volcanic fumes or smoke. The original founders of Rome have long been disputed. However, there is a legend that tells of two sibling demigods called Remus and Romulus fighting to the death over what they would name the city in the year 753 BC. According to the legend, Romulus emerged victorious and declared it as Rome. Carrots used to be a shade of purple as far back as 10 AD. Thanks to a series of changes to the weather conditions and the methods of growing, they eventually went from purple to yellow to the orange we know them for today. According to National Geographic, Mount Everest grows taller every year by roughly 4 millimeters as a result of shifting plate tectonics. North Korea and Cuba are the only countries in the world that do not sell Coca-Cola. Up until the late 1960s, St. Patrick's Day was represented with the colour blue. The colour was later changed to the green we know in order to coincide with Irish nationalism against the British rule. While most people know about Stonehenge and the stories that go with it, there's a structure that is even older. Göbekli Tepe, found in Turkey, is the oldest ancient structure discovered so far and predates Stonehenge by around 6,000 years. By the end of his career, the king of pop, Elvis Presley, recorded no less than 600 songs, but he never wrote a single one of them himself. The Jungle Book, made in 1967 by Disney, was the last film ever to be overseen by Walt Disney himself. From the year 1811 to 1812, a series of earthquakes caused the soil beneath the Mississippi River to rise, forcing the river to flow backwards. This has happened 2 more times since 2005. The first use of the abbreviation OMG was in 1917. A letter from John Fisher to Winston Churchill reads, "I hear that a new order of knighthood is on the tapis. OMG, oh my god, shower it on the Admiralty." Nobody knows where the idea for a pet door came from. However, Sir Isaac Newton is often credited with creating the first pet flap. Billy Joel's 52nd Street was the first CD ever to be produced and made commercially available. The average strand of human hair can hold up to 100 grams, or 3 ounces. The bevel at the bottom of a wine glass is called a punt. The cardboard sleeve that protects your hand from a hot coffee is called a zarf. The first space station ever created was the Salyut space station, which launched into orbit on the 19th of April 1971. This was followed with the creation of the US Skylab, which reached orbit in 1973. The term "fire in the hole," used as a warning to signal incoming explosions, was originally used by miners, in order to alert their fellow workers that a charge had been set and was ready to go off. It was later adopted for mainstream use in video games and movies, set in a warring scenario. The city of Melbourne, Australia was originally called Batmania in 1836. Named after the Australian pioneer and founder John Batman. The Titan Zeus is currently the biggest TV in the world. It has a screen size of 370 inches, while the smallest TV in the world, made by Basic Fun Toys, is around 3.5 inches wide. Just 72 days after its release, the movie for the hit anime series Demon Slayer became the highest grossing film in Japan's box office history. Queen Elizabeth II is a trained mechanic and often serviced vehicles throughout World War II. The dingo is believed to be a descendant of semi-domesticated dogs originating from India or Asia, and was later introduced to Australia, in which it adopted a wild lifestyle. The acronym PS, usually found at the end of a letter, stands for postscript, originating from the Latin term postscriptum. Research has shown that some humans sleep with a level of consciousness similar to something called unihemispheric slow wave sleep, which is a biological instinct in some animals such as dolphins, where they keep part of their brain alert as they sleep in order to watch out for predators. With the rise of smartphones comes the rise of smartphone addiction. In fact, the phenomenon is so bad that social media users have given it a name, nomophobia, which is a fear of being away from a mobile device.